Today, we're going to take the incredible ideas from the book Rebuild Yourself and turn them into an actual blueprint for your life. This isn't just about theory. No, this is about a real, step-by-step plan you can use to reconstruct things from the ground up. So let's get started. Let's just start with a really important question. Do you ever kind of look around at your life, your job, your relationships, just your day-to-day, and get this weird feeling of disconnection? Like you're playing a part, but you didn't write the script. If that sounds familiar, even a little bit, then you are in exactly the right place, because this is all about finding your way back home to you.
So the book gives us this amazing way to think about it, and it's going to be our guide today. Rebuilding your life is a lot like renovating an old house. You can't just slap a new coat of paint over walls that are crumbling. It doesn't work. You have to go in, check out the structure, have the guts to tear down what's not working, and only then can you start building something new, something that's really strong and beautiful. So that brings us to step one, clearing the ground. You could call it the demolition phase. And look, this is all about taking a brave, honest look at what's in your life that's holding you back and finding the courage to get rid of it. This isn't about losing things. It's about making space.
This slide just nails the central struggle, doesn't it? Over on one side, you've got this life lived for other people. It's all about following expectations, wearing these masks, doing what you should do. And that's exactly why we can end up feeling like a stranger in our own life. But on the other side, that's the goal. A life guided by your own inner voice, your true self. That demolition phase, it's all about making that journey from the left column to the right one.
Okay, so how do we actually do this demolition? Well, it boils down to three big moves. First, you have to consciously let go of the expectations other people have put on you. Just drop them. Second, you've got to declutter. And I'm not just talking about your garage. I'm talking about your mind, your friendships, your habits. Anything that drains you or makes you feel small, it's got to go. And third, and this one's huge, forgive the past. Holding on to old hurts is like trying to build a new house while carrying a backpack full of rocks. It just doesn't work.
All right, the old, rickety stuff is gone. The ground is clear. Now it's time to lay a rock-solid foundation. Because you can't build anything that lasts on shaky ground, right? And in our life renovation, that foundation is knowing, really knowing who you are at your core. Let's dig into that.
So start with this question. And I want you to really think about it. Go back, way back. Before you worried about careers or what people thought, what did you love to do? What just lit you up inside? Was it building things? Getting lost in a book? Exploring the woods? That feeling, that natural joy, that's a direct clue. It points right to the heart of who you are, to the bedrock you're going to build this new life on.
The book makes this incredible point about the power of just being quiet. Our world is so loud, right? There's always a podcast, a notification, something demanding our attention. We almost never just listen. But the deepest truths about yourself, they're not going to come from a motivational speaker. They're waiting for you in the silence, when you can finally hear that quiet voice inside.
Okay, the foundation is poured, and it's solid. Now for the exciting part, the actual construction. This is where we start putting up the walls and framing the rooms of our new reality. And the key is, you don't do it all at once. You do it with small, consistent actions, day after day.
Think of these habits as your building materials. You start with what the book calls a sacred morning routine. And that's not about being productive, it's about starting the day centered on you. Then, you strengthen that mind-body connection. Things like a walk or stretching or just breathing. It makes sure your new house is structurally sound. And things like gratitude and resilience, that's the mortar holding all the bricks together, especially when things get tough, which, let's be honest, they will.
And this is maybe the most important secret in the whole blueprint. You don't have to build the entire house today. Just aim for 1% better. That's it, 1%. One small positive choice, one moment of quiet reflection, one walk around the block. Because that tiny little improvement, when you do it day after day, it compounds. It builds something absolutely unshakable over time. It's all about consistency, not intensity.
So, the house is built, it's looking good, now what? Well, the last phase is about learning to actually live in your new home. And this means a huge shift in your mindset. You have to stop seeing yourself as just a resident subject to the whims of the weather and start seeing yourself as the architect. Now, this quote, it might sound a little brutal at first, but I want you to sit with it because it's probably the most empowering sentence in the entire book. We spend so much of our lives waiting for the right person, the right job, the right moment. But that's a trap. The second you truly, deeply get that you are the person you've been waiting for, everything, and I mean everything,
changes. And that right there is the heart of the architect's mindset. It's about taking what some call radical responsibility. And that's not about blame. It's about power. It means you realize you have the power to respond, to choose, to fix things, to build. Your happiness, your life, it's in your hands. That's not a burden. That's the definition of freedom.
So what does living like the architect actually look like day to day? Well, first, you become your own leader. You make choices that are true to that foundation you laid. Second, you stop being so obsessed with getting to the end and you actually start enjoying the process, the act of building itself. And finally, here's the ultimate goal. You build a life that's so full of meaning, so truly yours, that you don't feel that constant need to escape from it.
So, we've walked through the whole process, from demolition to foundation to the finished building. But a blueprint is just an idea on paper until you pick up a hammer. So we're going to end with a challenge, a question for you. Forget the whole house for just a minute. What is the one single first brick you are going to lay today, right now? Because that one small, real action, that's how every great renovation truly begins.